Hi everyone, it's Robin. Today I'm going to show you this how I made this origami tree on this card that I posted on my blog. This was actually last year, but I received several questions about it and I didn't have time to do a video tutorial last year. So I thought I would just go ahead, since I'm doing a Christmas card series this year, go ahead and share how to create this. And we'll create a similar card together. It'll basically look just about the same, except for, of course, the pattern paper. I'm going to change that up a bit. But to create this tree, what you're going to need is 4 pieces of pattern paper. And the first one is 3 by 3 inches. That would be this one. The next one is 2.5 inches by 2.5 inches. The third one is 2 inches by 2 inches. And the last one is 1.5 by 1.5 inches. And you can see that I have 2 of the same, and then they layer this way. So rather than show you on these really small pieces how to go ahead and fold these, they're all folded the same way, just obviously the same size, so they do get a little bit fiddly with once you get to the smallest one. But I've taken a bigger piece of paper and I've just marked the score lines on here for you to be able to see them easier. So what you're going to start off with is the back side facing up, so the side that you don't want showing. And what you're going to do is you're going to fold it in half this way, so you're folding the front of your card together, or your pattern paper. You're going to open it up, fold it in half this way. So, and then you're going to open it so where the front side is facing up. Okay, so pattern side that you want showing is up. And then you're going to fold it in half diagonally this way to make like a triangle. You're going to open that up and then do it again on the other side. So basically what you're going to have is a plus and then an X. The score line's facing the different way, of course. And what you've created are some pleats in the corners here, or the edges. And you're going to pinch those together until you get a triangle that's like this. Okay, then what you do is you take and this edge right here, you're going to fold that down. You're going to do the same on this side, fold that down. Of course, you're going to want to use your bone folder and make sure all these score lines are nice and burnished and crisp. So basically this is the layers of the tree right here. So I'm going to just to save some time, because I don't want to run out of time on the video, I'm going to go ahead and fold all these. I'm going to ink the edges and I'll be right back. So I'm just going to fold them all the same way I just showed you. Okay, I'm back and I've folded all of my pieces for my tree. And then next what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive to the bottom here. So this is where you folded it back, open it up. On this part right here is where I'm going to add adhesive. I'll just kind of hold the pieces in place easier. Just one line of adhesive, and then I'm going to stick. Now, depending on how far you shove it in there, you can have a really short, chubby tree. So I'm just going to stick it in this much. We'll see how that comes together. And then you can also add adhesive to the bottom here of the top layer to just kind of I guess make it not so dimensional. Just going to stick that down like that. So it still has nice dimension, it's just not as dimensional. So again, I'm adding adhesive to the bottom, or the back side there. Putting this in about the same amount. Sticking that down. And I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive here to hold this here. Oops. Okay, and stick that down. And the last one, I'm just going to add adhesive to the back of that now. Okay, so basically here's your tree. And I do have a little bit of a short stubby one, as you can see. They're all the same size, it's just depending on how much you put them in. So I'm going to go ahead and fix that and I'll be right back. I'm just going to add a little bit more adhesive right here, because I hadn't done that one yet. Stick this down. Okay, so now we're going to set the tree aside and work on the assembly of the actual card. And what I'm going to use is craft cardstock that's A2 size. Let me back out a little bit. Which is 8.5 inches by 5.5 inches, and I'm going to score it at 4 1/4. So I didn't get a chance to score that, so just use this. Okay, because it's a vintage card, I'm going to go ahead and ink around the edges. And I'm just using Stampin' Up! Soft Suede ink. I don't have a lot, actually I don't have any of the Distress inks by Tim Holtz. Now my daughter does. She has quite a few of them. But I have like 60 some Stampin' Up! Inks, and I didn't want to start another collection, so I just kind of left that alone. I just figure I'll just use what I have. The next layer I'm using red cardstock, and this is actually Riding Hood Red. It's Stampin' Up! Cardstock. And it measures 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And you can use your edge distresser around it, but just to save time, I'm just going to go ahead and skip that step and just ink around the edges. You can see I'm not being very careful because, well, number one, we're going to add layers over it, but number two, I want it to look, kind of messy. The next layer is a piece of ivory cardstock that measures the same as the red, so 4 inches by 5 1/4. And again, you can use your edge distresser on there. But to save time, I'm going to skip that step and just go ahead and ink. Oh, actually, I don't need to ink around the edges here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set these two layers aside for the moment. Move my card. Get a piece of scrap paper. Because what I'm going to do, pardon me, is I'm going to add a background. So I'm using this En Francais French script background stamp from Stampin' Up! And I'm going to just stamp on here second generation using soft suede ink. So for those of you that are newer to stamping, when you have a big stamp, either rubber or acrylic, it doesn't matter, I like to apply the ink onto it this way rather than try and make sure I have setting it down like that onto the ink pad. That way I know I got good coverage on it. Okay, and I said second generation. What that means is I'm going to stamp onto a scrap piece of paper first to get off some of the ink. Okay, and then now what I'm going to do is set this down and then put this face down onto my background stamp. And just kind of rub that so some of the ink gets on my cardstock. Okay, so it's light, but yet you can still see, all the different, the script on there. Okay, and then what I'm going to do now is take some olive ink and, let's see, this tree stamp from Stampin' Up! I think it's Lovely as a Tree. And just ink this up on here. Not being too careful because I want it to look kind of messy. Get that on there. I'm going to do this 3 times. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tear around all 4 edges, not taking off too much, just like maybe 1/4 of an inch. And so just to save time, I'm going to go ahead and stop the video, and I'll be back when I have that all tore around the edges, okay?